and welcome everybody to my new podcast episode. My name is Cathi and I'm a coach for all the twin flames out there and for your personal growth. Today I want to give you some advices for your twin flame process, and I think it is really important to know these 6 points that I have for you today. You can subscribe this channel and you can write a comment if you want. You can write an email to info@twinflamelove.de, or you can have a look at our website www.twinflamelove.de, and on the right side in the line above you can switch the language to English so that you can have a look at my offers to you. And you can book a coaching or maybe energy field reading. That means I can stand in your energy field and tell you what the spiritual guides telling you to any problem you have to solve at the moment. And that is very interesting. And if you want, you can come to our Facebook group, which is called Twin Flames, or just have a look at my Instagram account. So let's start with this new episode and have fun. Yes, as I said it before, I want to give you some advices for your twin flame process, and I found 6 of them very important. And the first is that there can be some people who comes in your process and disturb your process or can prevent your process. And you will get to know that if you speak to someone about your twin flame and you speak about the problems you have to solve with your twin flame, you will get to know that there's a lack of understanding, because other people don't know what you have to solve for problems right now, and they don't know how it is like to be in a relationship with your twin flame. And that is normal and it is okay, but the consciousness of the humanity is rising up. The consciousness of the earth is going higher and higher, and so more and more twin flames will get to know each other, have this process, get through all these phases in this process, and there are, despite of it, just a few right now, and it's getting more and more, but it is still just a very small number. So nobody of the persons who don't really get to know this process or even get to know their own twin flame can understand what you are going through. Yeah. And most advices are like, oh, why are you looking after him or her after all these things that he or she had done to you? Why are you not going away? Don't be in contact anymore with this person. Go away, just be happy, live your life, and all these things. And that is okay in a 3D relationship, as I call it. It's really okay. In a normal relationship, we will have to go away or something else if the other person don't respect us or anything else. But in a twin flame relationship, you can't go away. Why? It's not possible. And there's always the runner and the chaser, and this dynamic is through the whole process, and you're going away and be together and going away and so on. And the advice is maybe from a person who wants the best for you, and that is really okay, that is fine, because mostly we are talking with our family and our friends, and they want the best for us. They don't want that we are hurted people or that we are sad or angry or something like that. They want that we are happy. And if they don't get to know their twin flame, then it's really okay that they talk to us like that. But it's maybe not the best advice to talk with other people about this process. In my history, I just stopped talking about it because no one really understand me to that time. And the other thing is, even if the other person wants something good for you, what is about you? What does it do with you? And mostly we begin to doubt, to doubt the process, to doubt, is it our real twin flame? Why am I doing all these things? And why isn't it working? Or all these questions are coming to in our mind, and we think about it all the time, and that's not positive for us. And it could be that your own process stops to this point because you believe the things that other persons are saying to you. You believe, okay, maybe he or she is right, and I have to go away. I think, I think it's really okay, and I don't have to deal with the other person anymore. And then you're going away, and your process is stopping. My advice at this point to you is connect with people that have similar situations, that have similar problems to solve in this in this process. And therefore, I have a Facebook group because we have many women and men who wants to connect with each other and just wants to be in exchange with each other. Yeah. So that was point 1 and 2. Yeah. And the third point is that you have to be aware of yourself. Take care of yourself. That means most of the women and men I talk to in this twin flame process just deal with the other person. Always think about the other person. Where is he or she? What is he or she doing? Why does it take that long? When do we come together? When can we be in a happy relationship? When is he or she going to let divorce or go away from his family or whatever? And this is so typical. It's just really normal, but you have your eyes always and your focus always on the other person and not by yourself. And that is preventing your own process and your steps towards yourself and towards your healing, towards your highest potential and everything you want to live in your life and can achieve. Yeah. And you are not going to go a step further or go anywhere if you just stay the same and stay with your focus on the other person. And it's also not that positive for your personal growth in this process if you send and text 300 emails or WhatsApp or whatever all the time and all the day. But it is your own decision. You can make it as you want. There's no do this or do that. Just listen to your intuition and you will get the right answer. And in my process, my twin flame and I, we texted all the day and all the time, but I have times when I had to go away from it and when I had to be by myself to meditate, to get to know my feelings and so on. So it was not the one that I have to go away for many days or weeks, but I have to go away a time at the day to be with myself. Because it is your process. It's your own process. And it's the point that you have to learn that you are not depending on another person. You are independent. You are your own creator of your life. And so take care of your life, of yourself. And that's the next point. don't make any other person responsible for your feelings, because the other person don't has anything to do with your own feelings. It could be that the other person is maybe a trigger or triggers you if he or she is saying something to you which just causes you pain and you don't want to feel it, or you get angry and you scream or something like that. That is a trigger in the outside that shows you your own feelings in your inside. And it is quite important to look at it, to be aware of these feelings, and to say to yourself, okay, why have I this reaction? Why did I scream or something like that? Why was this the reaction? And then you will feel the feelings. You will say, okay, there was the jealousy, there was the anger, there was the sadness or something like that, and I am responsible for my feelings, and I am really the one who has to deal with it and not the other person. Yeah. The next point is that you have to act. Yeah. It's good to know that you have these feelings. It's good to know that there's the negative thought and you have this negative emotion and there's the trigger outside. It's good to know about it, but you have to act. And that means you can meditate, you can sit down and meditate, you can go for a walk for meditation or something like that. You can work with affirmations, or you are searching for a coach who goes through all these steps with you. And it is a part of the process to look for help and to get a coach for a while. Don't get fear about it. It's not unnormal or something like that. It's really normal to get through this process. And you don't have to forget that it is a challenge to go through this process. It is a really big challenge for you and for your personal growth, and it costs you a lot of courage to look at it, to look at all your themes, your thoughts, your negative emotions, your patterns, and all this stuff. It is really, really big, challenging, and it costs a lot of courage to look at it and to say, okay, I'm going to meditate, I'm going in my pain, I'm going through all this negative stuff, I want to heal, I want to forgive every person, and so on. And you will get to know that the steps are, in the first moment, are not that light and hard and heavy, and it's not it's not simple, as I said it before. But if you are going further and further in this process, the steps will be more lighter and you will go more lighter through this process. Yeah. And then there's a point where you can say to your partner or to your twin flame or whomever, okay, I realize that I'm sad, for example, and it's okay, you triggered this sadness, and I'm going to go away for maybe half an hour, and in half an hour I will come back and then I can talk to you again. And this is the real attitude that we want to live, and that is really gorgeous. How good is that? And even not just for a twin flame relationship, that means for all relationships. That is the part of consciousness that we need in our relationships. Then we don't have this fight against each other anymore. And that is what I wish for every relationship on the world. Yeah. The fifth point is that you will get to know some doubts in this process. That means you will always or sometimes have these doubts. Okay, is he or she my real twin flame? Why am I doing all this stuff? you will ask yourself if you are going further, or why you cannot have a normal life and so on. And all these things and all these thoughts are a strategy of your ego, because in this process you will learn that the ego is going to be smaller and smaller and smaller, and don't has the power over you anymore. And you will learn that you are not your ego, and you are not your thoughts, you are not your emotions you have. You are this blue sky behind it, and there's some clouds, and these clouds are your ego, or these are your thoughts and your emotion. And that is what you will get to learn more and more in this process. So it's not about dissolve your ego, because that's not a good idea. I think we have to use our mind for our life and it's just about the thing that the ego or your mind don't has the big power over you anymore. Yes, and the last point is that I will tell you, please check if the other person is really your twin flame or a false twin or whatever. I know I talked about it sometimes before, and I talked about the thing that you will get to know if the other person is your twin flame, and that's real. You will get to know it. But many of the especially women I had in my coachings don't know that they are in love with a false twin. Yeah, they get to know a narcissism or another false twin, or another soulmate, and they think that this is their twin flame, and the other person just wants to have them for the bed, or for just a few minutes and then he's going away and don't want to have contact anymore. But the woman is always get behind him and is the chaser, and wants that he or she is coming back and something like that. And they didn't realize, and they didn't want realize that they were in love with a false twin. And I don't want this happens to you, so I talked about it. And the differences between a false twin or another soulmate was in a podcast episode, my first podcast episode, and even in the differences between the relationships, and also in the last episode about the characteristics of a false twin. So maybe you can hear it again if you are not sure if you have your twin flame, or there's a false twin or something like that. I know that there's no checklist where you can have a look, is it my twin flame or is it a false twin or something like that. But the main characteristic is the unconditional love, this feeling of be in love immediately, really immediately. You can tell the other person I love you in a few minutes, in a few days, even in a few weeks, but mostly in a few days or hours. So that is really, really an important characteristics. But many women get after another person who is their soulmate or even false twin, and this will stop your process, or your process will going to be a very, very long, because maybe you have the false twin in your life and you're thinking he or she's coming back for years, for really, really years. I just heard it in some sessions, and it's not what I'm wishing you today. the process is not only going on with your twin flame, you can also have the steps of the process with a false twin or with another soulmate. In my history, it was with a narcissism, and that means with a false twin or with another karmic partner. But the steps are not that intense, as with your twin flame. But they are really, really good to have it maybe with other soulmates before, because then you don't have to be in this process that long. And today I know that it was really meaningful for me to be in this process with other partners, because I don't have to be with it with my twin flame. And I think that just and only because I did the work by myself because of a false twin, I get to know my real twin flame. And it is very often the thing that the false twin is preparing you for your real twin flame. So just really have a look. What is it? What is the other person for you, especially in this moment? There is a time in your process when the concept of twin flames doesn't matter anymore. When you're thinking, okay, it is what it is. I don't want to call it like twin flame or runner and chaser. It is what it is. But for your mind and for the understanding with your mind, we have to deal with these words and with these characteristics. So just have a look, what is it for you? And don't go behind a person who don't want to be in contact with you. I mean, it's your decision what you want in your life, what you want to live in your life, and what you have in your life. But a person who in a conscious way is hurting you, or don't has any time for you, or something like that, don't has deserved your love. Never ever. So be aware of the signs and of your intuition. And if you don't have access to your intuition, you can begin to meditate to come from your brain, from your head to your heart. And it is really, really good when you just take the time, take care of yourself, and be aware of yourself. Because it is your time, it is your life, and you are the one who make the decision what you are doing with it. And your twin flame will see your time with you and your twin flame always as a present, and not as a weight or a load or something like that. So the 6 tips that I had to you are: there are persons who delay the process so that you are for a longer time in this process. And the second tip is really be with some persons who experienced the same as you did and who are in the same situation. The third point is be aware of yourself. Take care of yourself, and don't have any other person who is responsible for your feelings, because it is just and only you. The next point is be in action. Come and do something and act and meditate or do whatever you want, but do something for yourself so that you can take care of yourself. Then there are the doubts in the process, which are really normal. And the last point is that you have to really check if it is your twin flame or not. So I hope that these signs or tips or points will help you in your process and will help you to get along with it and go a step further. And yeah, thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe and hear you next time. Bye!